What is up, everybody? Hello, hello, and welcome to today's mini workshop, is what I'm going to call it. I don't foresee us going very, very long, only because there's really not that much to update you on as of right now. Pretty much am covering everything so far. Just released new content, by the way, in the members area. You can check it out in the 1K per day section. It's about KPIs. And today we start uploading all of the edited and finalized Facebook ads section and whatnot. So just a quick roll call. Let me take a look at chat. How is everybody doing in regards to setting up? Everybody should at this point have some sort of campaigns running, have some sort of something going on in regards to movement with either, with your ads. Basically, at this rate, everybody should have their ad accounts warmed up and slowly start rolling out conversion campaigns. Cool, thank you. Looking forward to new content, scaling KPIs, help with my sweet. Brian, how's your campaigns doing? Are we alive? Are we good and still running? Are things not disabled, basically? So because with you, I took a little bit more extra care and told you to start way lower than I typically would tell people to start. It's a little bit for a few days and then got another 2 sales, 1 refund. Okay, cool. So how many sales in total are you right now? Are you in the money with the current ad budget that you're at, even with that 1 refund, or close to a break even? Like I told you on our call, the stats that you were reading off to me from your ad, I told you it was going to be a great campaign as you slowly scale it up. So okay, cool. A little over break even, sweet. All right, that's fair enough. All right, let's see here. Anybody else want to chime in on what they have going on? So I can because I really want to use today's call to see where everybody is. I see some people in the chat and in the room, quiet folks, if you will. And by the way, just so you know, when you chat in this chat, in the Zoom chat, it only comes to me. So nobody else can see it. So if you want to share something, whether it's closer to you, secretive, whatever it is, you can always put it in the chat. I typically read the message before I read it out loud, just to make sure. But okay, so Brian, we're heading in the right direction, that's for sure. I just wish that Facebook tracked your purchases correctly. Somewhere in the conversion events, something didn't add up, probably due to privacy reasons for the pixel not tracking, which stinks, which really, really stinks. Okay. All right, cool. So seems like I'm drinking water, sorry about that. So Brian, let me read this first. Okay, 370 ad spend for about 400 in sales. That's actually really good. Wait a minute, how are you at, is 370 ad spend before is that with or not including the warm up? Okay, just not confirm. Oh wow, so all right, so yeah, so you're compounding pretty fast then. All right. But that's not bad whatsoever. 370 ad spend for $400 in sales. It tracked my last 2 purchases, so I think it's right now. Good. So just on conversion ads, here's the thing, Brian, is that you're in, like I told you on our call, you're in a unique position because your ads right out the gate had the numbers, had all the metrics that you need in order to go ahead and have a successful ad campaign. The only thing that we were waiting to see is the click-through rate on your lander from your bridge page to the actual affiliate offer. So I noticed the smaller budgets had higher CTR, correct? Lower CPMs for the most part too. Yep, 100%. That's how low budgets work. Low budgets will always have better data per se, because the group that is shown your ads is smaller. So if they hit the right pocket of individuals the first go around, then you're going to have insane stats at low budget. Just remember, when you increase your budget, everybody, and then Brian as well, when you start to increase your budget, that's why I also told you your CPMs will go up. Your statistics will go up. Now, if you start massive, like, when we roll out our big campaigns for a certain time of the year, we'll start off at like $500 daily on the first day. CPMs are moderate to high, and then they start dropping over the next few days. But in this case, when you use low budgets, that's why, Brian, you're more than anything in quote unquote in the green. You're not at a loss. So remember, our goal here with these small campaigns is to get the ads approved and to collect data. Like the data, Brian, that you have right now is it's going to compound on itself. It's slow as hell, but it's going to compound super, super, super well. So, okay, I'm up to my 5th duplicate on Gary. I also got your question. I'll read it in a moment. Okay, good. So I'm up to my 5th dupe on the second interest. Good. So tomorrow would start my 3rd interest. Great. I also narrowed it from 21 plus on first campaign to 35 on second interest. Good. So you're going to get more sales there. We do 40 plus when we're targeting age. So we'll go 40 plus. So instead of 35, narrow it down a little bit more to 40. And it should perform better. CPMs will be higher, but the quality of traffic will be better as well. Let's see. Gary says, I'm going well. Haven't launched a campaign just yet. Building a rapport with my Facebook followers. Okay, what do you mean by building rapport with your Facebook followers? What do you mean by that, Gary? Because, yeah, I'm interested. Elaborate a little bit more on that for me. Because if you're wasting your time doing something that, in my opinion, isn't necessary or shouldn't necessarily be done, I'll just tell you right here, right now, and tell you what to do. But what do you mean by building rapport with your followers? Sorry if you hear me chasing some water. Just super, super dehydrated today. Okay, so also, Brian, the other thing is, what I wanted to tell you is you're starting to, once you hit that like $700,000 spend mark, you need to start being very picky with your active campaigns, like the campaigns that are active. So go to the KPIs video that I put in the 1K per day section. It should be the last video in there at the very bottom, and take a look at those KPIs. I'll actually pull it over and share my screen a little bit. Share screen. Okay. So add KPIs for your ad level. But here's the other thing is Brian, I want you to, have you checked your click-through rate on your lander? Have you seen your lander numbers yet? Have you gathered those? Okay, so that's going to be your next step here, is because your ad, from what you told me originally when you first started your campaign with the metrics you had, if it's still holding true, then, and those numbers are going higher, then you can take a look at your bridge page click-through rate. So when somebody lands on your bridge and how many hops you have or how many link clicks you have on your offer, and do the numbers there, and then see if it's low, then you can start optimizing. Okay. So yeah, Brian, 100% do that. Get the actual data. Okay, and Gary says, I gather that I can get a lot of organic sales by warming them up and gaining their confidence. So Gary, are you running, where are these followers coming from? So just so you know, the way that Facebook works, Gary, is anybody who's a page owner, Facebook, you remember like way back in the day when Facebook pages were the thing, and you know, you can create a page, people join it, and there was just an entire news feed filled with page, you know, pictures or videos or posts from that page. Facebook used to push pages like crazy, like insanely crazy. And then they started to realize that these pages were, you know, they were making a lot of money. They were basically riding off the coattail of Facebook. So what Facebook decided to do was make it a pay to play model. So here's the thing, Gary, is that you might be focusing on building rapport with people on your page that you're running. Now, it's not bad, but here's the thing. Probably, I would say at max, maybe 10%, max 15% would actually see the posts that you make and engaging with them. Your efforts, you're essentially, what you're doing here is you are trading off, you're trading off time in comparison to money. So what I mean by that is, you can be garnering more eyeballs, like more people at a faster rate without building rapport by putting an ad in front of their face that catches their attention and making sales, rather than going and utilizing your time to try and build rapport. So the page is organically going to grow by itself as you run ads. And the other thing that you have to consider is how you're getting those people to actually go ahead and like or interact with your page. So if you're doing, you know, the page likes to go ahead and get Facebook to advertise your page to get more page likes, those individuals who actually like your page, you're burning your money. I'm telling you right now, you're burning your money. They're like bottom of the barrel. Some of them aren't even real accounts. I would say 70% aren't even real accounts. If you're using post engagements, right, to go ahead and you know, get your posts in front of other people, then your follower count isn't necessarily growing. Just the engagements is getting, you know, bigger and bigger. And so if you're engaging with those people that comment to try and garner some sort of rapport, it doesn't matter, because the chances of them ever seeing your ad are very slim unless you're retargeting. So the efforts you're putting into building rapport on a page like this is more than likely not the best use of your time. So just keep that in mind. So you said, I thought I could build a brand at the same time. I mean, you technically can. Yeah, that's not a problem whatsoever. Not technically can, you absolutely can build a brand at the same time. But as you advertise, like with conversions, optimizing for sales, people are organically going to follow, and they're organically going to engage with the post, right? So it's not going to be the same amount of engagement as it would be running page post engagements, but that's okay, because here's the thing, is that one of them, you're telling Facebook, hey, I want people to engage. I don't care about sales. I'll pay for people just to comment and look and like, right? The other one, you're telling Facebook, hey, I don't care if they comment or if they like or if they, you know, whatever it is. I don't care if they engage. I just want them to go ahead and click and potentially purchase. So, and again, like I always preach, is that Facebook is the smartest, has the smartest ads algorithm bot for advertising. So they know patterns of their users, and the AI puts your ads in front of the pattern of the user that you are optimizing for. If you're telling Facebook, hey, I want engagements like likes and whatnot, if you're telling Facebook, hey, I want engagements on this post, right, they're going to put your ad in front of the people that are more than likely to engage with your post, and that's it. But if you tell them, hey, look, I want you to put this ad in front of individuals that are most likely to purchase, the people that engage and don't do anything are vastly different than the people that whip out their credit card and purchase, you know, from an ad. So again, it doesn't matter building rapport, because the people that are still clicking through on the ad that purchase, when you're optimizing for purchases, you'll still get comments, likes, shares. And there's a way that if you really want to, you're able to use, if you create a post on your page, and instead of boosting that post, you're able to run that post as a conversion ad. So what that means is, if you have engagement on let's just say you create a post on your page that is that's a direct link, like a direct promotion for your bridge page, right? What you can do is you're able to actually go out there and run engagements first to that post on your page, right? So you run engagements to it first. And then what you do is you take the same exact post. All you do is grab the post ID, and you would actually create this in Business Manager. You would take that same exact post ID and then use it for a conversion campaign. So technically speaking, you can have both running at one time. And you can use that same exact ad with all the comments already there, with all the engagement, like the likes and shares and views. And you can use that exact ad with all that social proof as the conversion ad, just by grabbing the post ID. So it's a little sneaky thing to do. It really boosts the amount of clicks that you get and whatnot, because there's a lot of social proof on that post already. And so the other thing that I know people do for a fact. So obviously there's and again, use this at your own discretion. All right, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm also not telling you not to do it, because people do it all the time. So it would basically be me telling you not to do something when our competitors are doing this, and it's kind of, they have the upper hand. So we all know you have one of two options, right? When you launch a campaign, or an ad, you're able to see that ad, right? Or if you post on your page, you're able to see that post, period. So what some people do is they do one of two things. Using the page that they created the actual ad on, right? They'll go into the comments on that page and they'll post like 3 to 6 comments of like testimonials or social proof or whatnot. And it'll just be from that page. Like it'll say, here's a testimonial from Amanda, and then like Amanda's testimonial. Now here's the thing, is that you can get really sneaky with this, and in the comments you can have the like the before and after pictures and whatnot, because it's the comments at that point, right? Now I would be very careful with how you do this. I wouldn't necessarily push the compliance with the before and after pictures in the comments, but I would just have some sort of little imagery or testimonial in there. Now, where other affiliates get really sneaky, and this is something to keep in the back of your mind, and this works very, very well. So you guys know how you have farmed accounts or real accounts or whatever it is, right? And again, I know I have a friend who also did this, and he utilized Craigslist to do this. So you're able to grab, like I just said, your post that you made for the ad that you're running. And so you can have other people, like regular users, comment underneath in the comments, comment underneath the actual ad and say, wow, this was incredible. Basically a testimonial, right? And make it look like it's not from the page running the ads, but it's from an actual user or something of the sorts. And so that works really, really, really well, really well. So the conversions that you'll get from just because of the comments, like the testimonials or feedback you have in your own comments, is going to increase your conversions in regards to how many sales you make from the people clicking on your bridge page and whatnot. Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, we have an ad in front of our face. And we need to think about this logically. I need you to understand this, is that you have an ad presented to you, right? When you look at that ad, you click on the product. Let's just say it's an e-commerce based product. You look at the actual product, and you're on their sales page. Excuse me. And you're on their sales page, right? Now, here's the thing. You do one of 3 things, or you do all of 3 things. Why? Because this is typical human nature. Number 1, the first thing you do, the path of least resistance, is you go back to that ad because it's in another tab or another window, or you're browsing on your Facebook mobile and you go back to the ad. What's the thing that you look at, right? You look at the product that you clicked on. Great, you understand what it is, you're almost there to buy it, but you go back to Facebook, to that same exact ad, and you start reading the comments. And you start going ahead and looking at the top comments and seeing the feedback. Am I right? Give me a 1 if you've ever done that before. Give me a 1 if you go ahead and go back after looking at something you're about to purchase and see what other people are saying. See what others are going ahead and commenting on it, right? So yeah, I'm getting everybody to say 1. Exactly. The second thing you do is you either go to Google, or the third thing would be going to YouTube, right? And depending on the product, if it's e-commerce, again, this is so irrelevant because we're not in e-commerce, but we would replace number 3 with YouTube with Amazon. People would go to Amazon, see if they can get it for cheaper. So logically speaking, right, the path of least resistance to make the sale is the comment section. Now, I want you to really fathom this. And this is more so, psychology when it comes down to selling anything. When you see an ad for a product, right, or when you land on a product, whatever it is, within 3 seconds, your subconscious mind knows if it's going to purchase or not. The decision is made with less than 3 seconds. All right, with less than 3 seconds, the decision is made. Now, if there's 3 types of decisions. There's a maybe, no, and yes. No people will just go ahead and click, see what's going on, and just back out. They'll never think about it again. Maybe people are the vast majority of the group that click on the ad. They are interested, right? Now, to convert the vast majority of them, it'll take social proof. Utilizing Facebook comments for social proof is by far the most powerful thing you can do, period. You will increase your sales so much. And then yeah, long story short is utilizing the comments. I don't want to keep going on with this, is utilizing the Facebook comments on your ads it's like a secret cheat code to higher conversions. So, okay, cool. Does everybody get that? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. If you guys are like, okay, I never really thought about that, but cool. All right, Brian says, I think my CTRs are 45% after including my clicks. Okay, click-through rate from bridge page to offer. Okay, ClickFunnels shows 153 unique. Good. Digistore says 66 promo clicks, and Facebook says 200 unique link clicks. Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing, is you're gonna have more accurate numbers with ClickFunnels, but your real accurate numbers, if you're using ClickMagick, look at your ClickMagick clicks. All right, and that's why I like using ClickMagick, is because of the fact that I can track. With custom parameters, how many clicks we're getting and where they're coming from. So we're gonna go with 153 unique. Digistore says 66. So we'll go with, okay, so you have 66 promo clicks, 66 divided by 153. So you have around a 43% click-through rate on your lander. Again, that's pretty standard, 40 to 50%, I think, on the same lander that I think you're using. I don't recall which one, but I think it's here. I have it pulled up. Is it this one right here? This one? A version of this? Yeah, that's what I thought. 40 to 50%. That's about right. So my click to sale 6.1. That's really, really good. That's really, 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 really good. So your stats are there. Your stats are 100% there. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing for me to even do for you right now, except tell you to wait, scale slowly, and it'll compound really, really fast. And obviously use logic to kill certain campaigns. So let's see here. Are these sneaky little hacks in your training and such? Yeah. So Vlad asked a good question. Are these sneaky little hacks in your Facebook training that you're about to release, the engagement tactics and such? Yes. Yep. So scaling is going to be included in the Facebook ads section. But Brian, technically speaking, is for what for what you're doing with starting off with $5 and 20%, you don't have the ability to scale. Your scaling is day by day until you're comfortable. So that is your scaling. You don't have wiggle room to just bust out a high budget campaign. You don't have wiggle room for that at all. Okay, sweet. So let me think here. There was something else that I had written down. I just can't find that sheet. Give me 1 second. I'm going through my Google Docs on my phone. Okay. All right. So I think that was pretty much it that I wanted to go ahead and convey. Unless, let me check the chat real quick. Unless there's questions, I'll open the Q&A. Kian asks, Click.org versus ClickMagick. I've never used Click.org, to be honest. Yeah, I've never used Click.org. So I don't want to talk about it. Let me see the pricing here. If it does the same thing that ClickMagick does, I mean, we just want UTM tracking, right? Where's the pricing? Yeah, at that point, you're better off going with, yeah, it probably does the same thing, to be honest with you. Let's see. It's about 39. Yeah, I mean, I know how to use ClickMagick, so I just focus on continuing using ClickMagick, right? So what is ClickMagick? I would like my info to be accurate. Okay, ClickMagick is, I just signed up a new account for work. Let me show you. ClickMagick, let me go to work. If it lets me log in. Cool. So you can see right over here, work.com. Obviously, it doesn't go ahead and it doesn't have the subdomain it's on, but I know what's being tracked over here. Work.com for automation, and it goes ahead and it does all this. So you can set your source, your medium. So this is, so she already started rolling out campaigns. Last 7 days. Interesting. Okay, let me show you. I didn't know our media buyer started rolling out campaigns. So we plug in these codes, right? So the source of this traffic is Facebook. We have one unique click here. And if I go to Medium, you could see this is the, let's see. This is, I forgot what you named this, Mar. Let me take a look at what the campaign name is. Okay, so this is, okay, so she got this backwards. So the Medium, in which case would be the campaign name. All right, so Mar is, her name is, let's skip that because I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Oh my, Miriam, there we go. I was thinking Marcia for some reason, that's awkward. 2F, top of funnel, 2F plus super affiliate guild plus V1. So this is the campaign name if I were to check inside the ads manager. The campaign here is international 2F, and the targeting is digital marketing here. And let me see if I go to term, there's none for the term. If there's content, DCO, so DCO 2F, ad copy +1. So this is where it's all tracked. You see this? And if it gets conversions, it'll appear in the conversions column. I guess the ads were just turned on, which is interesting because this is the first unique click. So, or maybe she's testing it. But long story short is we're able to see, where the conversions are coming from. This is, so everybody here knows like Hyros, right? Hyros is pretty expensive until you're scaling, pretty high. I think Hyros is like $500 or $800 a month. Hyros, ClickMagick is basically like Hyros. It just is a more manual version of Hyros. So it'll show you what the campaign name is. It'll tell you what the targeting that's getting all the sales and leads and whatnot. It'll actually tell you by the content. So this is the creative name. So if you go and create an ad in Facebook, that's what we named it, and it'll dynamically pull all of the data from Facebook and put it in here. So this, like, Facebook is the one who passes the name of the ad that was clicked on and what targeting it was and what campaign it was. Because here's the thing, Brian, and for everybody else, when you get, let's just say 5 sales, or you generate 5 sales and Facebook only shows that you're reporting, 2 or 3 sales, well, you'll be able to see with ClickMagick where the other 2 sales came from. So that's going to be really important to know which campaign to not turn off, because you might turn something off that's actually working really well, but because of Facebook's really garbage tracking, or sale attribution system that they have where they misfire a lot of times, you'll be able to see it inside of UTM reporting. Is this required? Absolutely not. And as a matter of fact, I don't suggest you guys use ClickMagick or click.com or whatever before you start scaling. Why? Because you don't need to track, 2 campaigns, 3 campaigns, 4 campaigns. If you have like 50 campaigns running at one given time, once you're maybe a month in and you're generating a lot of sales every single week or every single day, then sure, then it's justified, because you need to go ahead and figure out where the money is being spent and allocated and what the real ROI is, right? Does that make sense to everybody? You guys got that? I'm not telling you right now to get ClickMagick at all. Give me a 1 if everybody understands not to get it, okay? Until you need it. I want to make sure everybody here we're on the same page. Before somebody's like, oh, I got ClickMagick. Well, I told you don't need it now. Thanks, Vlad. Cool. Okay, Brian, cool. So Brian, I see your, so your click to sale 6.1. That's really, really good. That's really, really, really good. So that tells me your, let's go here. Let's go to Keynote. So right here, 4% is good. So again, anything higher is better. So anything, at 4%, you're converting at 6.1. That's good. That's really, really good. So yeah, long story short, you're heading in the right direction, even though you're pretty much just at break even. That's really good that you're getting all that data. Really, really good. I'm excited for this. So I saw the KPI video, but does it talk when to kill the campaign as well? I mentioned in that video when to kill a campaign, because I remember saying think logically, not emotionally. Killing a campaign or stopping it, it really comes down to, well, here, and this is the problem with killing campaigns, is that there's so many metrics that you need to look at, and you also need to think logically. So it's more of a logical decision-making process than it is a mathematical one, but there is math that you need to be aware about here. So, so like the few I killed had about $50 spent with 0 initiated checkouts, higher CPMs, and lower CTRs. Exactly, Brian, exactly. So if there's no data coming in on that campaign, right? And you've spent whatever, and here's the thing, the number that you set on your spend per campaign is up to you. So, I like to go ahead and spend in a campaign roughly around, 100 to 150 bucks. But again, I'll also be running multiple different ad sets in there at, maybe $10 or $15 a day and let it run. But long story short is, you have every right for what you just did. Like the few I killed had about $50 spend with 0 initiated checkouts, higher CPMs, and lower CTRs. That's fine. If the numbers don't add up, if the numbers just don't work, it's very, very simple. Kill it. You spent 50 bucks, move on from it. So, but here's the thing, you can duplicate that exact campaign and basically lower the budget back down, kind of quote unquote restart it, right? And Facebook might put that campaign, the duplicate campaign, to a different pocket of people than what they originally put it on. And it might convert that time. But again, that's why, one of the things that I mentioned is the broad targeting that I like to do, which is just broad targeting and duplicate the campaigns over and over and over again with no interests. So because of the fact that the pockets of people are different every single time. But again, yeah, you're fine with that $50 in spend. Even if you wanted to do like $30 in spend, 35, see if you get an initiate checkout, just get more data and make sure you follow all those numbers that I'm telling you in the KPIs. All right. Let's see. Vlad asks, are most of us just linking to our lander and then to the offer? Yep. So most, Vlad, most are doing the bridge page, not the lead gen. Brian asks, since I was continuing to dupe 20% even with no sales on higher budget. Okay, yeah. Since I was continuing to do 20% even with no sales on higher budgets. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I mean, again, you can do that, but there's going to come a time where, again, this is where your logical brain has to come into play, is how many times you're going to, dupe that campaign that doesn't work. Like how many times are you willing to go ahead and keep on testing different pockets of people? So if you're on like your fourth dupe with 20% scale and you spent $50 already, then it's safe to say that you should be trying a new interest, or you can go ahead and let it run for more data. So it's completely up to you, your budget, and just thinking about it more, thinking about it more logically than emotionally. Because again, when I'm not saying you are thinking about it emotionally, I'm just saying when there's money on the line, we think differently. Like when we're spending our money to go ahead and do anything, advertise, buy, program, enroll, so whatever it is, it shifts the perspective from logical thinking to emotional thinking. So different interest instead of waiting until fifth dupe, maybe better. No, wait for the fifth dupe. Wait for the fifth dupe. So yeah, wait for the fifth dupe. And then go ahead and change the interest. How many interests are you running right now, Brian? I'm interested to know how many interests you currently technically do. Okay. All right, yeah, that's fine. Since I still have my first one. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, good. Well, if you use another interest, then you're fine. Then I mean, technically, nah, I wouldn't risk it. I was going to say technically you can go ahead and try another interest, but I wouldn't risk it. And remember, when you dupe, right? When you dupe into a new interest, have the budget low again. Put the budget, like restart the budget. Yeah, okay, good. So, sweet. So does anybody have any final questions before I end today's workshop? We'll go ahead and get recording and editing some more of the Facebook stuff to put it in there, because that was one of my weekend goals. So cool. Sweet. So I want everybody, ideally next week, for those of you that are here, I want to start seeing more like conversion campaigns running. I know Brian's up, but I want to see everybody else. Kind of running conversion campaigns ASAP. Everybody should be already at this point. So there's not one person that shouldn't be running conversion campaigns, right? If you're already warmed up. So with all that being said, I think that's Q&A real quick. Kian asks, is YouTube covered, please? We will get to YouTube. Yes. Again, like I said, I'm building out Super Affiliate Guild still. It's a constant work in progress and constantly adding new content and all that. It's like my baby. But I will be covering YouTube 100%. Yes. So that is coming in due time, and that'll be in Super Affiliate Guild. You guys don't have to pay anything for it. All right. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for today's workshop. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the community section, or just leave a comment under this recording. So with that being said, everybody, it's been a pleasure, and I will talk to you all this upcoming week, and have a great weekend, the rest of your weekend. And that's pretty much it. So bye guys, love you all. See you soon.